being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs. I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs?
Some of the biggest names in the music world have faced shocking revelations, showing just how far certain people are willing to go in the pursuit of money and fame. Usher's journey has often been described as a painful example of how young talent can be pushed into difficult situations, leaving lasting effects on those trying to rise in Hollywood. Stories about his early years, including time spent at industry camps, reveal how the entertainment business sometimes places ambition above protection, creating cycles of pressure that continue to affect rising stars today. It's a reminder of the importance of safeguarding young artists and questioning the hidden costs behind fame.
I don't care what they say, because they tried to push me out. They didn't want me in. They would actually say, you know, you're too close to the project. No, I'm not. Because remember, Usher went to stay with Puffy. Now that was a business decision right there, because I didn't know Puffy. I didn't know him.
How old was he?
Usher was 15. He lost his voice.
Physically or just,
you know, puberty. He's growing and he lost his voice. So he lost his range. So the record company felt like, okay, this is not a great investment. So Puffy was there. And I will never forget it. We had this conversation and he said, you're going to have to trust me. That was really, really a hard decision.
Usher's path into music began at a young age under the guidance of his mother, and his big break came when he was signed by L.A. Reid, the same executive who would later discover Justin Bieber. Soon after, Usher faced a major setback when he temporarily lost his voice, and during this difficult moment, he and his mother were introduced to Diddy. Diddy offered to mentor Usher more closely, even suggesting he live with him to help shape his career. Many questioned this decision, as it seemed unusual for such a young teen to be sent away under little supervision. Still, Usher's mom, focused on securing a future in the industry, agreed, a choice that would spark lasting conversations about the pressures and risks young artists face when chasing fame.
To New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah, that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, you know, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. Yeah, I had like, you know,
what
like a
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
If you're enjoying this story, kindly do us a favor and subscribe to our channel. It is free and won't cost anything, but it means the world to us. We're just a small channel trying to grow. Thank you, and back to the video.
Reports even circulated about an incident that allegedly led to Usher being taken to the hospital during his time living with Diddy. Industry insiders later claimed they had heard stories about a young artist under Diddy's care who required medical attention after a troubling situation. While details remain unclear, the whispers added to long-standing concerns about the environment surrounding young performers in the music industry.
And people know that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp.
Over time, Usher became deeply tied to Diddy's influence, with many pointing to interviews and old clips that raised eyebrows about the nature of their relationship. In one resurfaced video, Diddy is seen making unusual remarks about living with Usher during his early years at the so-called Flavor Camp, including comments about waking up together. These statements fueled long-standing questions about why such a young performer was placed in that environment, and why closer safeguards weren't in place to protect him.
If you don't mind me asking, because I know the topic is sensitive, what happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing something, they may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
What did you hear?
Bro, you know how people be talking, and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when somebody say, yo, man, I don't F with them, man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened.
Years later, Usher faced public controversy when reports of legal disputes emerged in 2012. According to court records, he was accused of personal misconduct that resulted in costly settlements totaling over $1 million. These cases reignited public discussions about the challenges and lasting consequences faced by young stars who grow up in the spotlight, often without the protection or guidance they need.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close to the bed. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did.
No, I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. I should look like he fresh off goddamn plane. I should.
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get up early.
Usher has never publicly addressed his sexuality, and that remains entirely his personal choice. What has drawn attention, however, is how he has often been linked to figures in the industry who themselves have been surrounded by controversy. For example, actor Orlando Brown once made sensational claims involving both Usher and Diddy, adding another layer of speculation to the long list of stories tied to Usher's early years in the spotlight.
We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you see Busta in the airport too. Never forgot that he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
And Cat Williams. What's his name?
Bro, you smashed a lot of people.
What's his name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's an Usher.
Well, some documents have leaked about Usher. They were obtained by Radar Online. And apparently back in 2009 or 2010, he had contracted herpes and passed it on to a celebrity stylist having unprotected sex with her. He had to pay $1.1 million to that woman for severe emotional distress. And he also covered her medical bills. That case was settled back in 2012. Now, allegedly, there was a greenish discharge from his penis.
Oh, that's a booger. Penis boogers? I didn't know that.
He said he went to the doctor. He was cleared of any STDs, so the woman went on and continued. Now, if I notice a greenish discharge oozing out of his penis,
This ain't Nickelodeon.
I don't know that I would
That ain't
continue.
slime. What you gonna say? I know all these kids playing with slime nowadays, but no.
I don't care who you are, okay?
Nothing green supposed to be coming out your penis.
Yeah, not at all.
That's not how this works. Yellow comes out my penis and white.
Years later, Usher found himself mentoring young talent in the same industry that once shaped him. In 2008, when Justin Bieber was signed to LA Reid, Usher stepped in to help guide his career. At just 13 years old, Bieber was introduced to some of the same figures Usher had once been connected to, including Diddy. Reports claim that Bieber even spent extended time under Diddy's supervision without parental presence, raising serious concerns about why a child star was placed in such an environment. The parallels to Usher's own early experiences left many questioning whether history was repeating itself.
Anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by ED Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow! I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful face. All right.
In later interviews and podcasts, Usher's comments about Justin Bieber sparked discomfort among listeners, as many felt the discussions crossed boundaries given Bieber's young age at the time. The remarks raised questions about how casually sensitive topics were handled in public conversations, highlighting once again the lack of protection and respect often shown toward child stars navigating the industry.
And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest.
Time you met Justin Bieber, this kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber yet. He's just some kid. And he says, I want to sing for you.
It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri,
right?
And I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's just do this the right way.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, there were a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reid, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room somewhere.
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts. Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of manager he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and say, yeah, show your... Or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private parts.
Justin once looked up to Usher and admired Diddy, but over time he expressed deep disappointment in how those relationships affected him. In a recent Apple Music interview, Justin grew emotional as he reflected on his past and the struggles he faced while growing up in the spotlight. Through tears, he explained that his greatest hope now is to ensure today's young performers are better protected, so they don't have to endure the same hardships he went through.
I was just, living in this shame, living in all this sort of stuff in my past, and I wasn't able to move on.
Do you think the person that the you of then was on a path of self-destruction?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah. It would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive, for sure. It was dark. But I want to definitely tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully learn from it.
Well, for me, music comes from somewhere.
Right.
Maybe it comes from this youthful naivety and this desire to escape something. And then you get out there in front of the world, and then it comes from a place of wanting more of it.
Yeah. I mean, just think about how young I was and so impressionable. And you have everybody telling me how awesome I am at all times, and I just want people to understand, the psychology behind why I potentially could have problems in my life. So, yeah, thank you for being here and helping me tell that story. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted, encounters, and, I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Do you realize how important the story is? Every time I have a conversation with someone who's been through this unique type of experience, I'm searching for some kind of truth that can help.
I commend you for going there and asking the tough questions and the things that people don't want to talk about, and they don't want to go there because it's revealing, and I want people to take a look at my story, and hopefully my words can make a difference.
Would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms? Answer, Justin Bieber.
I have little girl fans. I can't.
Okay, imagine that wasn't a problem.
No, I got bullies. Get that off of there. Hey, this is a brand new.
Has your mom given you the sex talk yet? I mean, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother. Yeah. I've kind of had it with my father. You want to hear? Oh, really? See, my parents never gave me the sex talk. Okay.
That last one is really just the sickest, asking a young teenage boy whether or not he's had the sex talk. He's doing a media hit on a radio, and she's asking him as one of the questions, have you had the sex talk? This is Hollywood for you.
Many fans believe Usher's involvement in Justin Bieber's early career left lasting scars, with Justin himself later admitting that parts of his experience were damaging. Over the years, their relationship became increasingly strained. Justin even unfollowed Usher on social media and declined to join him for a major Super Bowl performance. These decisions reflected the distance between the two and the long process of healing Justin has faced while trying to move forward.
No. Do you know an individual entertained by the name of Usher?
Yeah, Usher. That sounds familiar.
Isn't it true that Usher was instrumental in starting your career?
What does that have to do with this litigation, Mr. DeKalb? This is just you trying to harass the client.
Before we came back here, you'd asked me.
Let her read back the question. Thank you for your memory. Is it true that Usher was very instrumental in
I was found on YouTube. I think that I was detrimental to my own career.
Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this, and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is. Something happened in the background, and people started noticing some things last year. In 2024, you guys will remember that Usher was tapped to perform at the Super Bowl. And people therefore assumed, because usually when you are tapped to perform the Super Bowl, you bring in all your hits, you call up all your homies, there's all of these guest surprises of people jumping on on stage, and it's a trip down memory lane. So everyone was really hyped and assuming that Justin Bieber would be on the stage with him, especially because Justin Bieber went to this Super Bowl. The signs were there. But then news began breaking that actually no, Justin Bieber had snubbed him, that he had turned down Usher. People were wondering if this was true or just, usual rumor mill in the media. But then Usher confirmed it on The Breakfast Club. Kind of seemed like he was trying to make it seem like it wasn't a big deal, that here I am the mentor and he turned me down. Here is what Usher said explaining that on The Breakfast Club.
Why didn't things work out with Justin Bieber?
You know what? They did work out with Justin. I honored and recognized that my brother, I think that it might have been the fact that he was just, wanting to tell a different story right now. There's no love lost or anything like that.
Seems like he's struggling to find words there, doesn't it? He's saying, I think that maybe he's just trying to write a different story. What does that mean? I think that. You've been his mentor for decades. Shouldn't you know that? Almost decades, right? Shouldn't you know the reason why he didn't want to perform with you? Saying that he's trying to write a different story. What does that mean?
It wasn't only industry figures who failed Justin. Even his parents offered little protection during his most vulnerable years. On stage and in the public eye, troubling moments were often brushed off as entertainment, while fans and media sometimes laughed instead of recognizing his pain. Looking back, Justin was a struggling kid who needed guidance and compassion, but instead he was surrounded by people more interested in controlling his image than truly supporting him.
Justin Bieber turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Welcome to the family, John.
Usher was expected to guide and protect Justin as a mentor, but many believe he instead exposed him to the same harmful cycle he experienced in his own youth. Over the years, conversations have grown around whether powerful groups within the music industry hold too much unchecked influence, raising questions about the pressures and hidden struggles faced by young artists trying to navigate fame.
Yes. Do I believe there's people behind the scenes that are homosexuals that are pushing buttons? Yes. Yes. And that they want you to be down with their in order to push the button for you? Absolutely. And this is part of it. You just saw one of the gay mafia members. That's who he is. That's who Puffy is. He's one of the members of the mob. He's a mafia member. But he might not be Don Carl. He's not the Godfather. You see? He's not the Godfather. He's one of the heads of the families. You see? We got different families in this thing. We got Bad Boy. We got fucking, what do we have? Death Row over here. We have the different we got fucking, Arista Records and LaFace. These are the fucking families in the mafia. You dig? Those record companies are like...
This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive. Didn't have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now. Change his life.
You mentioned minors, you know, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and you know they're making a lot of allegations.
Mm-hmm. Same way they made allegations about Usher when Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? Why? There's reasons behind all this. So where there's smoke, there's fire, Cam. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, Justin, he's been real quiet about this. I mean, I think like a lot of the other celebrities.
I was reading some, Cam, and the kid said after he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day. What would cause a kid who wanted to be an artist in the music business all of a sudden to start getting high and drinking and drugging, popping pills and smoking? What would cause a kid to do that?
I mean, usually trauma.
Or a Diddy party.
Rumors have circulated about the existence of tapes that could reveal damaging information involving Usher, Justin, and Diddy. According to reports, lawyers have suggested that these recordings may surface in court, potentially shaking the foundations of some of the biggest careers in the music industry. With only weeks before proceedings, Diddy's legal team has already filed a motion to block evidence collected during recent raids on his mansion, intensifying speculation about what could be revealed.